One function an electronic machine always has is the feature of the needle stopping up or stopping down. Now, a lot of people, if you've only had a mechanical machine, this is something you don't realize how much you are going to love until you get a machine that has it. So the Pfaff Ambition 620 is, of course, computerized. You push a button, you get a stitch. A lot of things are set up for you, which is awesome. Just really a lot simpler to do. So let's talk about the needle up, needle down button. When you turn your machine on, you are going to notice that the machine is designed to start with the needle always stopping in the up position. Now, before I get into more features of this, let me show you and tell you why this is so nice. When you have the machine stopping in the up position, it means the stitch is complete. Whether you use the scissor button to cut your threads and pull it out, you lift up your presser foot, take it and cut it with scissors, or use the little cutter that's on the side of the machine right here. When you go to start your next stitch, that's when you know you don't have to hold your threads. The last stitch was complete. And you're not having to touch and turn that hand wheel and maybe not have the machine always in that right position. You know what I'm talking about. So even though I bring the needle all the way up, it's not finished until you continue to bring it up to its complete highest position. And you can actually see the take-up lever in here at the highest point. I always recommend students, especially those getting used to a new machine, is to utilize that needle down and needle up anytime that they need to bring the needle out of the fabric instead of using the hand wheel. Now, you did notice as soon as you touch the button, the light is on, and now when you stop, the needle stops in the fabric. Now, I do use this quite a bit because if I am working on something heavy and bulky, as I move the next area that I'm going to sew into position, I don't accidentally pull this fabric out from under the foot. I don't get a little jig when I'm moving the bulk. And so it holds my stitch. Now, the one thing I do find I sometimes run into is if I have pinned my project and I get really close to that pin and that needle goes down to stop in the fabric, if I've gotten really close to that pin and you hear that needle tap it, you have ruined the needle. And you might find it's going to have a little tap, 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 a little skip stitches after you sew. So definitely just watch as you stop close to pins that you give yourself a little breathing room. Otherwise, it's going to hit it. And it can hit that pin square and break the needle. So just kind of be aware. But you notice I do a lot of things with curves. With our Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course, it is 100% all stitched on curves. So I'm always needing it for some type of pivoting. So stopping with the needle down allows me to lift the foot up, twist the fabric oh so slightly, adjust for that new little area of stitching, and even inch around an entire circle, one stitch at a time if I need to, or one decorative stitch at a time for a nice smooth curve. Having the needle stop down is super easy. And then when you do touch the scissor function, what's nice is it will cut the thread and then bring that needle to the highest position, but this is still on, so you don't have to like bring it up and then touch the scissors. One last note about that needle down function. Let's say you're actually in the fabric. Let's go ahead and sink the needle down, and you go and select a new stitch. So let's select a 5, which is a zigzag stitch. Notice the needle doesn't move. It will not move until it actually comes up and then repositions at the top for the next stitch. So whether you move needle positions or change stitches, it will not damage the machine when the machine is changed with the needle in the fabric. So enjoy that feature. I think you're going to really know that. And also a tap of the foot control is a half a stitch. So just a quick tap at the top of the foot control will take that one little half stitch at a time.